Hello and welcome. So today actually we're going to be doing a different video. So it's all about what am I doing with my money, or some of the money, from my profits from Amazon. So, for me it was always about taking it one step at a time. Amazon was the focus, the money could be made. Why deviate? Why dilute the funds and move it around? For me it was getting that level of Amazon business that I wanted. For me it was about $1 million turnover. To give me the desired profit I wanted. But then what? Do I take it for myself? Do I keep it in the bank? Do I invest? Do I buy stocks and shares? Do I trade? What things do I enjoy? Some people prefer property. I actually really enjoy trading and stocks, and not just buying stocks, going on something like Hargreaves Lansdown and buying them and then leaving them, buying Apple and buying, all that kind of thing. Yes, that's what people want to do, and they want to hold it for 20, 30 years. And of course, it's most likely to go higher than it currently is now. This is not financial advice, though. I am not a financial advisor, just to make you aware. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going over what I do with some of the profits from Amazon and why. And again, it's because I enjoy it and I like it, and I would like to outsource the business enough so that I can do this full time, with obviously everything I'm doing with Amazon, more on the social media side, doing things like the Elite Sellers Academy that I do with Natalie, which is a paid monthly paid monthly group where we do lives and we interact and we bring you new videos every week relating to great topics. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into this, and I'll show you what I've currently got in terms of my investment portfolio. I actually have crypto, so I enjoy crypto and stocks and shares, but trading as well, and my stance behind it. And there's millions of different ways that you can do it. For me, I enjoy this way, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I always think it's important to do what you like, what you enjoy. So yeah, let's get started. So I started investing this year mostly. I started a little last year, but really I didn't want to divert my attention from Amazon. But then you got to think to yourself, well, then what? You made this money, do you keep it reinvesting forever? But what if something happens to your account? You want some sort of, some sort of protection. You want to just try to create as many, passive income streams, investment segments within your personal self or your business, so that you're protected and you've got sort of assets, I guess, what you could call it, in different areas. So for me, I went to Hargreaves Lansdown because you're able to get some tax-free savings as well. So this is obviously the website, but jumping over to, let me just make sure that everything is correct. Over to here. So what I need to quickly do is just change something. So give me 1 second. Okay, so one of the things that I've started to do is the stocks and shares ISA. Now, the reason I've chosen this is because you can actually do 20 grand tax-free. So the way I see it is that if I'm doing this long-term, lifetime, this is my life, obviously I might not keep the exact amount of money in there forever. I might move things around and all that kind of thing. But, you want to be taking advantage of tax-free potential savings and gains where you can, rather than just being blasé to it. And so I've set up a stocks and shares ISA. I'm actually only sending £200 at the moment into it, but I've also obviously topped up this year. So before this year, I only had like £1,000. And for me, I don't really want a pension. I probably will pursue the pension through the business at some point for, again, the tax-free savings and gains that can be accumulated over the long term. But for me, it was like, I don't really want to ever retire. I want to be doing businesses, investments, that kind of thing forever, because it's fun. Yeah, I enjoy it. I watch so many videos on YouTube, learning about all different types, building a very in-depth analysis program in my mind of things. So I currently have a stocks and shares ISA that I do, and I also have a lifetime ISA. So this is interesting actually, because you can contribute £4 grand a year, and you get 25% from the government. So only up to 50 years old, it says down here, but for me, starting now, that's like 17,000 that I get up to 50 or something like that. I think I worked it out. So I'm literally just putting in the 4,000. Yeah. So I'm dividing £4 grand by each month, and I'm then putting in that much each year, which will then mean I'm going to get a further 20% per year. So I'll get 5,000. I'll have the 5,000. But the good thing about this is obviously if you're investing in things, 17 for me up to 50 would be about 18,000 that I'd be able to get. That also means that 17,000 could turn into, I don't know, 400 grand, 40,000. Well, it could turn into 400 grand, but I mean, obviously you're investing that money and then that can go up. And then I'm just going to leave it there till I'm 60. So see here, you can get it to 50, but really you need to leave your money in for 60. And that's why it's just another thing that I'm doing, another layer of sort of investment, I guess you could call it. Not that I particularly want to retire at that age or anything, because I don't, unless there's some reason I have to, or I'm dead or something. But and I guess I don't know what happens to it, but I'll figure that out along the line. It's just, it's just ways to, be gaining some sort of cash flowing assets, as much as you want to call that cash flowing asset. And it's another way to save on tax, and you can contribute for X, Y, Z. Yeah. So what I'm going to go ahead and now do is jump onto my portfolio so you can see what's going on. So I jumped onto the portfolio, and again, not a massive amount invested, but this is just this year. I think I invested maybe like 1,400 before this year, maybe, and that was just £1,000. Basically, it was to get started. £1,000 into stocks and shares. I'll go ahead and click onto it so you can see what I've got, and I've just got £200 going into this HSBC. That I just thought, I might as well whack in 200. And this is since last August. So these other stocks here are this year. And I'll be building this up over the years, over the months, as and when I feel I'm going to take a portion of the profits and invest. Because I don't really want to have cash in the bank. For me, cash in the bank isn't really worth it. I don't even like having cash in the bank. I just see it's a waste. Actually, if I have money at £500 in the bank, I'm like, why have I got £500 in the bank? Same with Amazon always. If you've got money in the bank, you want to be spending that to be gaining some sort of income, even if it's a tiny amount, because there's none to be had in cash for me, personally. This is how I see it. Everyone's different. So you can see here, this is just a long-term HSBC fund index. I may stop putting that 200 into that, or just swap it around, and maybe if I get that up to a certain value, the value 2,300, I'll then change that and maybe invest into something else, and then something else, and sort of build up a bit more of an in-depth portfolio. But then I've then chosen Airbus, BAE Systems, HSBC, and Virgin. You can see Virgin's up quite nicely, 64% since I purchased it this year sometime. For me, I have a couple of different options. I want this to be long-term. Virgin, it can go to zero, who cares? It was £1,000, yeah? And they may top it up a bit over the years. Obviously, those things will appear, and I'll just discover that over the time. Now, the reason I've chosen like HSBC, BAE, and Airbus is I actually don't just go, oh, I like Airbus, let's go. Oh, the news looks cool, BBC, I don't know, whatever you look at. I actually then go on and look at this. So what you can actually see here, this is trading view. So I love looking at charts. To me, it's like an advanced keeper. That is all it is. Keeper is a lot of data, giving you data points, giving you a reading, and then you build a picture. Is it a good buy? Is it a good sell? Same with this. Is it a good buy or is it a good sell? As in good sell, meaning you wouldn't buy the product on Amazon, but obviously here you can do stuff like trading where you can short the asset or the class or whatever you're doing. So on here, I've got lots of different indicators of things that I'm watching. So down here in the flags, that actually should be flag, I've got lots of things that I'm invested in. So you can see here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, that's space, meaning Virgin Galactic. UKX is just that UK 100 index, but actually that's more relevant to the fund I'm in. They're very highly correlated, but not exactly. HSBC, Airbus, and BAE Systems. So this is how I then decided if I would like to invest in them. So I obviously go into, what I normally do is I go in and I add the asset class. So for example, this is SpaceX, not SpaceX, that's not publicly traded. Virgin Galactic. So, it's not got a lot of trading history. The same with Amazon, Keeper. It's not got a lot of trading history. It's not, so it's very hard. Let's put it up there. It's very hard to know since December 19, what's going on here. So let's just jump onto something. I have HSBC. Here we go. We want to go to the daily chart so that you can see each of these little things, candles, wicks. This is a wick, little line, and then the candle is full body, meaning that any one day it goes from bottom of the wick. You can see here, so this is the bottom. So the previous day it closed here at the bottom of this little red thing. And then the next day it goes boom, yeah? And then it goes, and it opens lower. So that's what, because obviously there's after hours trading, so it opens lower, and then it closes at the top. So you can also see on the up here, it tells you basically C is close, L, H, O, open, high, low, and you can get a feel. So a lot of this you can go in YouTube to figure out exactly how to even interpret this information, but that's just take it from me for now. So for me, I went, okay, well, I want a couple of options with my stocks. I want something that I can buy that's relatively low. Banks aren't doing great. HSBC is making lots of cuts, but let's say I look at a 3-year time frame. So I have Virgin Galactic that I'm looking for a long term. Cool. I like BAE and Airbus because they're into the aerospace. What I mean by that is mini satellites. I would like to get into Lockheed Martin. I've got them up there. I'm just watching them. And you can see here, since the crash last, let's try to figure out what the date was. What was it? March, somewhere up here. Around here was when the, obviously it's been going down a little bit before then, but since the, somewhere around here, I think. This can be slightly different dates, but it's kind of went all the way like 50% drop. Yeah, and now it's back up 51. Obviously it's percent, so it's not, you know, the reason it's not back up here is because it's dropped 50 and it's gone up 50 from that price, which is then there. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? You know, you can obviously go back and look at the history of the price in its entirety over the years, but it's kind of done this a lot. Yeah, for me, it's, you know, obviously it went further down here, but that was very similar to the drop down here in 2009, and it rallied over many, actually not many years at all, but I'm not worried about it being quick. So for me, I'm like, you know what price am I looking at? You could just mark off some horizontals here. You could probably say it's got a little bit of resistance around here, probably. And you could probably, but these are things you can learn yourself. Maybe that where it broke down somewhere around there might be a problem. It's a little bit difficult more to say on this. Some of the charts are easier than others, but I'm like, you know what? If I can make, well, if I expect it to go up, or I'm just playing off the averages and I'm playing off the trends, I'm going to go, you know what? What's the average over the last 10 years? I don't know, somewhere around here or somewhere around, probably a little bit in between. So it's probably somewhere around there. And then I'll be like, okay, well, you know, what's going to go up? What would it be? And this is 15%. Perfect. I actually quite like that 15%. I've been watching a lot of people that invest in specifics, meaning they basically play like a 15% game. So you can play multiple different versions. You can hold forever. You can do a quick in and out day trade. You can do a couple of years at 15%. That's kind of what I'm looking for HSBC. And again, I won't go over all the different ones, but someone like Airbus on the daily, it's just, yeah, you can see that's a big wick, Jesus. You can see here, Airbus actually went down like 1,000,000%. It went down like 70%. It's back up, but for me, I look at the trends, you know, you can see here, yes, it always goes down. I mean, even some of these drops here are probably 50%, yeah, thought it would be. And so for me, this is a little bit more of a medium-term hold, maybe 5-10 years. I could hold it forever. I'm not exactly set, but that's to say it could get up to its all-time high, well, back to where it was, 45% gain. Now, the reason I'm saying stuff like that is, yeah, there's issues with this kind of thing in the short term, in the medium term, because of the current climate, but that's to say that we're looking 5 years out from here. And I'm just saying, you know what, all I want it to do is really get back to its sort of, just recover from what it was. The same with BAE. This one's a little bit more difficult to analyze because even back in 2017, but that's, you know, it's actually had 3 drives there, so it's kind of like, it's had 3 drives here and it failed there. That was the corona as well, so it kind of perfectly actually called it, but you know, it didn't break that. So for me, you know, it may not even get that high. It may get to somewhere like here, or it might have a bit of a blue box. You could just draw that a blue box if you wanted. You know, you can kind of see that somewhere around, sort of around here. You can even get that off. And I'm looking to sell, for example. Where are we now? We're down here, 20%. And again, like I could decide. You know, I haven't got a perfect situation. I haven't got a super aggressive stance on this because I don't really need that money. For me, I'm not going to worry if I leave it. I could say, you know what, this looks like it's, you know, had a great run, but it's actually had a bit of a sticky situation up here. But again, I'll have to re-evaluate the business and the company, look at the maybe the financials, look at the contracts that they're sort of, well, the ones I can read, and decide there. But again, for me, I'm looking maybe over the next, I don't know, what's this, 2022, July. So we've got a bit of a while to sort of go up to about that. Yeah, and no exact science on these because I'm not that worried. Again, this is another thing I'm in. This is a bit more of a long term. That's a bad print probably. And SpaceX again, like I said, this is the biggest gain I've got. This is a little bit more difficult to read. The reason for that is because it's relatively new. It looks very difficult. Well, it's not very difficult to read, but it's not had enough history. Like keeper graphs, it's not had enough history. So what I then want to go into is, and eventually what I'll do is I'll be playing some options on this kind of thing in the future. But you need normally 100 shares to be doing that. So what I will now show you is my crypto. Now I hold some. I have 11,000 USD, and then in my Ethereum account I've got 682. Not that much. So what I'm doing is I'm actually trading this. So you can see here I've got P&L of this amount, and if you want to just quickly see what that even relates to, because you can see 294. So what do I do here? So I basically have a 10,000 USD contract long from that price. It's now that price. And again, I go off the charts. So the funny thing is people say, oh, crypto's so volatile, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, it is. Let's just go to Bitstamp. Let's go to BTC USD. Do I have to put that? There we go, Bitstamp. It's probably got the biggest history. Was I on it already? Oh, this is Bitstamp. Cool. So if you go to like the weekly, you know, and yeah, it is volatile, but realistically, does this look crazy? Not really. You know, it doesn't look too crazy, to be honest. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. You're telling me it looks anything different to this thing? You know, really, it looks up, down, you know, it's just a slightly less mature. And again, this is actually, because it's relatively new, it's going to look a little bit more like that compared to obviously like the others. I've just destroyed Bitcoin. Where's it gone? Come on, give it back. And I'm just playing off this. So I actually created a little, you know, for me, I'm learning to trade as well. So I have mostly adopted the trading side of things to cryptos, but you can actually adopt it to everything. Ascending triangle, well, you could probably say that's not an ascending triangle as such because of that. But, you know, I'm still learning as well. So I'm not perfect. But for me, looking at things, there's like a little bit of a measured move up to the 53.5. It might actually go higher, but for me, I'm looking at playing these kind of things. You could have a stop loss, but all you do on this is that, I basically, if you want to understand what I'm doing, is you can short the asset, sell, or long. So that's why I quite like this, like cryptos, because you can go up or down, and it usually is more or less. So in the next, I'm looking to accumulate Bitcoin. I actually only have that much, not that much. I'm looking to accumulate it through this next sort of bull run. It really already is a bull run. It's gone up like some crazy amount in what we're looking at here on the daily. Let's put on that. It's kind of gone all the way from, well, when its previous high was around. It basically went all. Yeah, that was its current. That was kind of what it was up. Since then, it's gone up 144%. But again, it can go down 80%. So this is the thing. It goes up high, but it also goes down high. But in my mind, it's like, well, it could go down to some, you know, it could do whatever. But the way I see it is that If it goes up 100 and it goes down 50% or 80%, well, the net difference is not crazy. That's more what I look at. So yes, it does go up and down. But if I also prepare for stuff like that, so my actual liquidation price is 23,000. So in theory, I can have my long go against me. I'm basically saying it's going to go up. My contract size is 10,000. The price, so that's how much Bitcoin it was. And what that means is that, let's say that Bitcoin goes up $1,000, because I've only got 0.2, basically I've got 20% of a position, mine will go up 20% in value. Yeah. So it's the same with like, Betfair, where you basically like, you're playing against someone else. So people will put in the pool a short at that price. And then I basically say, yeah, you know what? I think it's going to go up. You think it's going to go down. Let's go. And then if it goes down, I'll be basically paying him the amount. If it goes up, it'll be paid to me. You kind of see what I mean? So you need to have both sides of the coin. Someone's losing as I'm winning, or the other way around. And you can add stop losses on. So you could open your position here. I'd be like, you know what? If it comes back down to 48,000 from this current price, then I want to get out. I want to close the position so that I've got a little bit of profit. And you can always do that. You can just go into stop, market, or limit. I always do market because it definitely closes the position. The limit can be a bit temperamental, I found, if the price goes too quick. But what you would do is I would put, and it would always, so you could put 10,000 here, put your price that you want to buy. I could put 40, I don't know, 850, 40. I want it to go, I think it's going to go down to 48,000. Again, where's 48,000? Let's have a look. On the 4 hours, probably easier to look at. It could wick down here. So some divergence here, blah, blah, blah. You know what, I've put this marker off, and you can see I put this marker off many times before, so I've actually drawn this line, and it's kind of playing off this line really well. I actually have got like a trading course that I purchased about 2 years ago, and I've been learning that. But this for me, trading and looking at technical analysis is like a lot. It's going to take, I'm looking 5-10 years before I'm really very good at it. Because obviously I'm doing it on the side. I'm still developing the Amazon side and all that kind of thing. And so I'm looking to accumulate the Bitcoin for the price maybe to go up to whatever the hell it goes up to. I don't know what it's going to go up to. And then actually play the down market. So what does that mean? When it starts going into the downtrend, maybe it's going to retrace 70% from whatever the high is that it ends up getting to. But that's fine because I can sell, you see? Not that I'm going to click that. But you can go ahead and sell, meaning that as it goes down, someone thinks it's going to go up and you'll get paid. And you are paid in Bitcoin, and then I'm looking for the next market cycle. That could be 5 to 10 years time. And that's just showing you my investments. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm still learning, but I'm developing the stock side. I'm learning about different versions. So I'm looking to hold some for maybe 3 years, 5 years, and then life. And then I've got obviously that like old age pension thing, that not even a pension, but the old age thing that will just be there forever. And then I'll invest into, I'm currently in the emerging markets, and I'll just diversify that. And then that's there, I don't know, 30 years, whatever it is. Cool. While also trading cryptos on the side, because really I just want to have different types of assets that, this could go down to £1,000. If this goes down to £1,000, the value, whatever, I don't care. Because I'm looking to accumulate the Bitcoin in the event that it goes to 100,000, 200,000. If it doesn't, fine, not a problem. Okay, that's cool. I can crack on with the stocks and shares. I don't need that, And then the same with Ethereum. I have an Ethereum long trade, $800, because it's the price of Ethereum is 1794. They basically look the same in the charts. And again, does it really look anything crazy? If you look at that on a daily, you get a BA, does it really look that it's a daily? This is a daily. Does it really? This is obviously isn't going up, but does it really look anything crazy? Not particularly. So for me, it's about having multiple. Let's move that there. Multiple streams that may not be working together as well. So if I've got 10 streams of income through different things, I can have in the perfect world all 10 working together. Great, making money in all areas. Maybe I only have 2 working together, and then in 5 years I have 6 working together. And and it's more about that over the long term. Obviously, I may decide, Bitcoin went to $1 million. Maybe I want to sell. maybe $500,000's fine. If I ended up accruing that much, maybe I just want to hold it. Don't look at the value of it, but I want to actually just hold it. Who knows what's going to happen to it in 10, 20 years? Again, I probably would do something similar to what I'm doing with Amazon. I'm taking some profits, so I probably would take profits from all the different areas and sort of dilute them across. For example, I could move into property, and I could start doing other things, which is all investing into other businesses. That's something I want to get involved with. Looking at new opportunities for investments in business sense, and it's basically just about sort of playing around with that, but also while also trying to build it at the same time. So I'm going to leave the video there. Probably a lot of you will be like, "What on earth am I looking at?" All good, crack on with your Amazon businesses or whatever you want to do. But for me, it's like I had to think, what am I going to do with this money? Is what I had to think. I had to decide, do I just roll over for Amazon forever? But the problem is that if I did that for 5 years, yes, I could have a £10 million turnover business. But then what if something happened to the Amazon account? The business model dies. Yeah, you could get out some money, but I want to be the proactive one. Sorry, rather than being reactive. Thinking, what's your exit strategy? Because yeah, it's great to have a business and everything, but do you want to be doing Amazon forever? Probably not. For me, I want to have many more complex businesses that, for me, Amazon's pretty simple. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but the fundamental of buying and selling and arbitrage is profitable. Don't get me wrong. It's a business that exists everywhere. Buying and selling, pretty much, you go out, there's buying and selling going on everywhere, isn't there? Markets, shops, everything is based around that. But for me, it was more about using that as a way to generate some money for myself and then feed through into other things that I actually really enjoy. So, my mother, for example, used to say, I want to do this. I'm like, well, you can do that after you actually create something that then gives you an income so that you can pursue your passion. I don't know, it could be, I want to open a tennis academy, for example. How much is that going to be? 5 million, 10 million. Okay, well, build something that then can facilitate that. If it doesn't work, who cares? Because you still got all of the other assets generating your income. You still got your fallbacks. You still got this, that, and the other, and you can start pursuing passions. If I lost all my money in cryptos, fine, I'm not bothered. I mean, I have been in the space for like 4 years, or I could decide I'm going to take out everything I invested and let the rest ride. Yeah. So there's no, and then it's free ride. It's a free ride. People say, oh yeah, but the money's still your, yeah, yes it is, but I want to be, going into space, doing all these fancy things. And to do that, I have to obviously not just sort of sit back and go to a beach. So, oh, sorry about that. Gonna leave it there. Any questions, let me know. I know it's a bit of a different video, but again, I like to show people what I'm doing besides Amazon and where my sort of, not dreams as such, but where I'm looking to move to and get involved with. I'll do a lot more investing, very specific, and this is a very generic investing video, but I'll be doing a lot more videos on investing through maybe the end of the year, moving into the future years, as it's something I really enjoy, and by then I should be really sort of educated further than I am now. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, or you got some information, or you just got to see what the hell I do after in my spare time and stuff. But leave it there, and any comments, leave it below, and see you on the next one, guys. Bye.